I'm up at my favorite haunt again today. It's Wednesday, and today was the last stretch. I missed the stretch of real nice weather having to work this week, so first day off, and I'm off for a stretch now, about 6 days. So this was a nice way to kick it off. I'm in my favorite haunt up in the Olympic Mountains, out in the wilderness, the Buckhorn Wilderness, and today it's the Heather Creek Trail, and I've gone up Heather Creek Trail just beyond the fork from the upper Dungeness Trail, but not much far beyond that. So today was the day to explore new landscapes, at least for me anyway, and found a little snow. It's frozen up here, of course, but I see the weather's changing already, and we're back to rain tomorrow in the Pacific Northwest and for the next stretch. So this was it for me. This was my window. So I've hiked about 6 miles in, past, I just passed up Camp Handy and found some nice meadows along the way to check out. And this is the upper Dungeness River drainage and Heather Creek. So I'm in between two slopes here, and I can see peaks in the distance. But I found a little snow. It's a pretty little scene here. So I shot it and did some focus stacking as well. So I'm going to walk around this scene a little bit and see what else it's good for here before moving on. So it's been, well, in 20 minutes it'll be 11. I started in the dark again. At 7 I left the upper Dungeness trailhead, and so it will have been 4 hours and about 6 miles thus far. So I don't know how much further I'll go. I know once you gain more altitude and elevation, you can start seeing some peaks. So I don't know if I'll get that far, but there's some places that I noted along the way, some creeks, and maybe when the light gets better, that'll turn out for time to stop there as well. So high clouds moving in though, but this was my window for today. And this week, thinking more while at work about my photography, and it's easy to get a bit discouraged. For me, always striving, and no matter what I set my mind to, I try to master. But as a friend of mine posted this week on Facebook, that he's always had a passion for photography, and he got out of the military and knew he wanted to be a professional photographer. And I just made a quick comment, and that is that was admirable, and that's good for him. But for me, at my age, I think I got a late start to get hooked and to develop a passion for photography. So that can be a bit overwhelming, but I thought also that I'll stick to my initial focus and mission statement, living here on the Olympic Peninsula with the Olympics at my beck and call and in my backyard, basically, that I'll focus on the landscapes, exploring, and do that, and in the process continue to fine-tune my photography and to learn and grow with the time left that I'm given anyway. So, and enjoy the process, and staying fit, climbing mountains and exploring, and I get my workout as well. So kind of a multifaceted mix along with my photography. Before my stretch of days though, I do follow Brendan Van Sund as a vlogger, and I think he's a great photographer obviously as well, and saw a couple videos last week before I closed things up for my work week, and he gave me a bit of encouragement, though he doesn't know it, and that is just enjoy the process. Get out there, take pictures, do the best you can, but really enjoy it. So that helped me to summarize things this week as I gave time thinking about my photography while at work. So that's it for now. I'll keep hiking for a bit. I think about 11 in about 20 minutes I'll get as far as I can, and then at about 11 start working my way back. Pick up some things along the way, some creeks and And it's very dark in this drainage here, and during the winter the light is very limited, but maybe I can get out of the shadows a bit, and as the day progresses there'll be a bit more light. In the forest here, it's just very, very dark during the winter months. So I'll let you take a look at this little snow scene that I shot, and I'll shoot a few more with different perspective here. So this is what I shot here, at f11, and I've got my circular polarizer on, and that's it, maybe to give a little color to the foliage in the background, and the clouds are moving in the sky. There's just a little bit of sky in the shot, but I thought this was nice with the branches of this fir coming down and skirting the ground, and then a bit of the snow here and frost, and this log here on the right. So I'll take another look around, and also yeah, f11, and basically then I focus stacked it as well. I did use f22, and I brought it in 6 times, and then when I edit I'll stack these and see how it turned out. Far down the trail from where I spoke to you last, just hiking a little ways, and I heard pretty intense running water. So I decided to come on down and check it out. So I found the sweet spot. I've never been here before. Thought I'd just come down the slope from the trail through the forest and follow the sound. So here it is. So I've been sitting here excuse me, taking several exposures here. Hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the running water. So I just followed the sound of the falls, and here I am. I'll turn you around in a minute, but I set up right where I'm standing now, and took several exposures, a wider angle, down with those falls over there in the corner, with that big boulder right there where the water's coming down on, and then there's a tier here, little pool with 3 falls joining right in the center, and I never did catch this one on the right here. A little precarious standing here, and to try to get some good shots, but I think it worked out. I'll give you another take a look here, another look at these. So right where I'm standing here, I focused in on that big boulder there. I first took a couple at f11 with my circular polarizer, and then I just put on basically a one-stop grad, but at that point I switched to f8, and I think they turned out pretty good. So that was the first setup there. Excuse me. And then I set up on this one here. There's falls back there in the corner, some dumping down on the left and down on the right, and then I caught a little bit of this flow down in here. And again, that's just with my circular polarizer at f11, and then I slipped on my one-stop to Hoya and switched to f8 at that point. It's getting a little brighter. Sun basically is on the far side. Again, I'm in the middle of the Olympics, kind of in a big valley, obviously, hence the river. Well, I think as far as I'm going to go, this was a surprise. I had no idea this was here. Excuse me, coming off of home. But I don't know how many people know this is here. It's pretty sweet. So I can slowly now make my way down the trail and pick up a few more scenes along the way. Hiking back, there's a few spots that I had selected to check out, and I'm glad I did. I found a little kind of a micro universe here. Along the trail there's all kinds of creeks. There is Heather Creek that dumps on down, but various other creeks, and so I decided to come on off trail on down here, and the creek is very soft right now. I'm glad that the creeks and rivers dropped, because they were blowing for quite a while. So this is nice. It's lush and green, real nice winter scene, and gently flowing creek. So I did some focus stacking here, and I'll show you the scene in just a second. So this is the scene here, and I just set up real low to the ground. In my focus stacking, I used f22 with my neutral circular polarizer, that is, and it's quite dark down in here, so my exposures were actually 30 seconds at f22, and I don't know if those will stack appropriately, but definitely worth taking a look at. I took a couple at f8 and 11 as well at about 8 seconds, 4 to 8 seconds. And there's some soft, just small little fall there, and just nice flowing water coming from up above. Looks like there's some falls up there too. I might walk on up there and see what that's about. But anyway, I thought this was nice. I didn't plug my mic in. It's not a very good mic on this Osmo anyway. It's something on the list of things to pick up, so I'm pretty sure you can hear me. This is one of 3 meadows that I came into along the Heather Creek Trail, and in the morning it's all frosted over and it's just a nice icy scene. But that was this morning, and things have warmed up considerably in the afternoon here. So this is one meadow. There's another one on the way out, a larger one, and that's before Camp Handy, again on the Upper Dungeness Trail, Heather Creek Trail, Olympic Mountains. I'll give you a look around here. As I watch some YouTube vloggers, of course, and many in various countries, sometimes I'll listen to them say that they have a hard time finding a shot or looking for composition. But out here on the Olympic Peninsula, the Pacific Northwest, in the Olympic Mountains, anywhere you look, I believe there's a composition. It's just quite phenomenal, from a grand scale to microcosms and universes. So I definitely, it's not a challenge for me here to find compositions here in the wilderness. I've been up here in the summer months when I did Marmot Pass last year, spring, late spring I think. But there's the path, it just goes, there's all the way up, there's no switchbacks, it's just an easy trail that just heads up, and it's lined with these wild rhododendrons. Of course they're all sleeping now, but these come, I think, June maybe, a beautiful pink primary color up here and just all these native bushes, shrubs, and flowers. But these roadies are pretty phenomenal. This is the fork here. I'll show you this sign here. This is the trail to Marmot Pass. Right here, obviously, the sign. And but the first you come to Boulder Shelter, and then it's about the last mile from Boulder Shelter up to Marmot Pass, and then I believe Buckhorn Mountain. But this here is Heather Creek Trail, so past Camp Handy, about 3/10 of a mile down you go, and then up. So this is the Upper Dungeness and Heather Creek runoffs, and pretty much it's all dark. In the Upper Dungeness drainage and Heather Creek drainage, in the winter there's virtually no sunlight. In fact, it's 20 to 2 now, and the sun is already going down behind the peaks, and plus it's cloudy now. So this is a wrap. Hope you enjoyed a little mini vacation into the Olympics. And before I totally sign off, I'll probably show you the 2 footbridges. The first one I come to crosses the Dungeness, and then the second one, the Royal Creek. And then you hit the main trail down to the parking lot. So I'll catch you later. Before I do let you go, on this trail there's just many creeks, one of which is Heather Creek, but there's many more runoffs as well that come off, and I'll show you this little one here. And last time I was up here just recently, it was all blown out. In fact, I got wet feet, but levels have really dropped now. So again, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed, and check back later. Thanks again.